Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. Spokane Steve with you on a Sunday afternoon, and greetings, Kenyon Gray. How are you doing today? Got some other news and stuff, and we've got a game. There's Ben and Franklin here. Franklin is, hang on, I always have to refresh this thing so I can see the last chat. Sinatra. Oh yeah, I've got some Sinatra. And Ditto, yeah. Listen to that growing up. My dad played that. Dean Martin, a lot of jazz. Some weird stuff too that I don't, it's stuff, not weird, but I mean kind of cheesy. Andy Williams, for example, I never caught on to that one. Anyway, we got a game here today. I forgot to charge up my phone. I was out yesterday, of course, visiting family. I'm hoping we make it through this game. I think I've got enough. Yeah, there you go, Ben. Well, I was a youngster when those came along. My dad would have considered that hippie music. Although he was pretty open-minded to things as I got deeper into music. And even encouraged me when I started playing the drums. I don't know how many parents would do that. I think most parents would probably be cringing when their son said he wanted to get a drum set, right? He'd be like, oh my God, put that thing out in the garage. But no, my dad wasn't like that. He offered a lot of encouragement. And it was really great in that way as far as music and art in general. I might have a new kitten coming along here. I got to call this woman after the game, around 3 o'clock basically. We'll see how that goes. So let's get on to the pregame notes for this one. It's the Houston Astros at the New York Mets, the first of a short 2-game series. May 10th, 1966, of course, Dave Justy, the right-hander on the mound for Houston. He'll be opposed by Rob Gardner, the lefty from New York. Neither spectacular cards. Justy, what I would call a decent card, a backwards righty. So he's good against lefties, so-so against righties. Gardner, yeah, I don't know what to say about Gardner. Well, let's look at the replay numbers. I'll give you an idea what I'm talking about. Gardner in the replay has been boxed for an 0-3 record and a 9.39 ERA so far. So that's all you need to know about Gardner. Justy 1-1, 5.67. He's given up a lot of hits, 37 in 27 innings. So we could be looking at an offensive game today. Remember, Houston's one of the better offensive teams in the National League, and here's their lineup. Joe Morgan leading off at second base, Sonny Jackson in the 2 spot at short, Jimmy Wynn, the toy cannon, who's pretty much been the big cannon so far this season. He'll hit third and play center. Dave Nicholson is in right field in the cleanup spot. Jim Gentile at first base hits fifth. Bob Aspromonte will play third and bat sixth. John Bateman will do the catching and hit eighth. Rusty Staub in left field moves down to the 8th spot in the order against the lefty Gardner. And Dave Justy, the pitcher, will bat ninth. For the Mets defensively, Jerry Grody behind the dish, catching Gardner. The infield, Cranepool at first, Hunt at second, Eddie Brasseau at short today, and Ken Boyer at third. The outfield left to right of Hickman, Cleon Jones, and Lewis. Exactly, yeah, thanks, Ben. Okay, Gardner's ready to roll here, and Joe Morgan steps in from the left side. Again, Grady Hatton does not change his lineup against left-handed pitchers, still leading off with 2 lefties. He did move Staub down. Morgan at 245, 1 homer, 11 RBIs, a league-leading 23 walks, however, and Morgan scored 24 runs. So Morgan, well, maybe only batting 245, has been getting on base a ton, and that's his job here. Gardner gets the sign from Grady. Here's the pitch to Joe Morgan on a 5-9, a grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Brassou, a 4E32. Into the hole goes Eddie. And here's the play. He's not going to get that on a 2. That's base hit into left field. Under the glove of Brassou and Joe Morgan on to lead it off. Now let's check the holds. You know Morgan's going to want to run. A star 15 Steeler. Gardner a 0. Grody a -1. That would make Morgan a 14. And the Mets are going to hold him on, making him a 12. So he won't be going anywhere. And Sonny Jackson steps up now. Jackson's batting .317 so far. 1 homer, just 6 RBIs. Yeah, Justy did, Kenyon, absolutely. And I remember him as a reliever, of course. Here's Jackson now, left on left from the stretch. The pitch from Gardner, that settles on a 5-10, a grounder to short X. It's Brassou again, 4E32. Here's the play. On an 11, that's the E rating. A roll of a 10 on a 32. It's a double play. How about that? Brassou makes a marvelous play to Hunt to Kranepool. Holy cow, even this announcer is shocked at that one. 6-4-3X, a fine play by the 4E32 Brassou. And here's the toy cannon now. Wynn hitting .385, 6 homers, and 25 RBIs. Ranks among the league leaders in all 3 categories. Gardner gets set now. Here's the windup and the pitch to the toy cannon on a 4-8 right-handed. Base hit into left field. Line drive single for Wynn. So the double play looming very large in this inning now. Base hits by Morgan and Wynn. Thanks to the double play turned by Brassou, Gardner can still get out of this. They'll hold Wynn, making him a 12. And Dave Nicholson will be the hitter. Nicholson batting .340. 3 home runs, half a dozen ribbies. Gardner into the windup now. It's going to be a 1-8, and he loses him ball 4. So once again, the double play looming large. Gardner has really not fooled anyone so far, but he got that ground ball double play. And he's still alive. And here's Gentile. This is a good matchup for Gardner. Gentile, a left-handed hitter, comes into the ball game hitting .254. No home runs, 11 RBIs. And there's baseball redo. Baseball for the Mets. Gardner checks his runners now from the stretch. Pitch to Jim. 3-7 left-handed. A single to 6. And on a 1, that's going to scoot past the glove of Kranepool. Lewis on it quickly. So Morgan will have to hold at third. And the bases are loaded on a 2-out single by Jim Gentile. Wynn down to third. Hang on a second. I don't know why I put that by Morgan. Morgan was erased on the double play. Bases loaded, 2 down. Here's Bob Aspromani now. Hitting just .186. Bob has 3 homers, 12 RBIs. Gardner in a jam right off the bat here. Checks the runner now into the full windup. Pitch to Aspromani on a 6-3 is a grounder to the pitcher X. Gardner a 4E11. Will he get out of the inning? Here's the roll on the play. 4E11 on a 19. It's a single 1 star. Gardner cannot make the play. It's an RBI single for Aspromani. Wynn crosses the plate, and it's 1-0. Nicholson down to third. Gentile moves to second. So Gardner, his own worst enemy there on an X chart plate. He can't handle it. It's ruled a single. And here comes John Bateman. Bateman hitting .260, 3 homers, 10 RBIs. Gardner rubbing up a new ball, stares in to get the sign. The pitch to Bateman. 4-6 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3, and Gardner escapes the jam. Good enough, I would say. The Astros do get a run on 4 hits, but they leave the bases loaded. Could have been a lot worse for Rob Gardner in the first. As it is, we go to the bottom of the inning. Houston 1, New York coming to bat. And as Justy gets loose, let's give you the Mets lineup today. Ron Hunt will lead off at second base. Eddie Brasseau, who turned that nice double play, will be at short hitting second. Ken Boyer, the third baseman, bats third. Ed Kranepool in the cleanup spot at first base. Cleon Jones will hit fifth and play center field today, with Johnny Lewis in right, Jim Hickman in left, Grody doing the catching, batting eighth, and Gardner the pitcher ninth. Let's set the Astros defensively. Bateman will be catching Justy, Gentile at first, Morgan and Jackson up the middle, Aspromonte at third. Staub in left, Wynn in center, and Dave Nicholson in right. Yes, Ben, absolutely. I mean, that could have been a lot worse. However, we can't overlook the fact that Gardner was knocked around again. He's been knocked around all year. He got out of that pretty fortunate to only allow the one. Here's Hunt now. Justy a 7. What is Gardner? Gardner rated a 5 for endurance. Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to bet a nickel on Gardner making it through 5. Here's Hunt leading the team and hitting at .371. That puts him among the league leaders. No homers, 3 RBIs. Oh, exactly. I agree with you 100%. He got out of that cheap, no doubt about it. Here's Hunt now, Justy the righty, into the windup. Pitch to Hunt is a 4-7 right-handed. That's a single to 6 on a 9. This liner's going to find the glove of Bob Aspromonte. And that's the first out. Here's Brasseau now. Eddie comes in at just 143, just 3 for 21 on the season. He's only appeared in 7 ball games. Right-handed batter. Here's the pitch to third at Justy now. It's a 3-5 right-handed. Struck him out. So Eddie down on Eddie down on strikes, 2 away. And here's Ken Boyer. Boy, yeah, you got that right. Baseball redo. Anything at Shea, you got to have the airplanes. Ken Boyer comes into the game batting .239, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. Justy gets the sign from Bateman. There's the pitch now to Boyer on a 3-12. It's a 2-hopper to second. Joe Morgan to Gentile, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Dave Justy. So we're through 1 here on a Sunday. Astros 1, Mets nothing. That is watching them get beat. I don't fully get it. I assume that Franklin is not for the Mets. Oh, the Plains are watching them, maybe. I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused. What else is new, right? Rusty Staub will lead it off for Houston in the second. Staub comes in at .326, 1 homer and 17 RBIs, second only to Wynn on the ball club. Left on left now as Gardner delivers to the plate on a 6-7, and he loses him, ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Staub. Staub no threat to run. Here comes Justy now. Let's check his bunting rating. He's an A. So the Mets are going to pull the infield in, and he's going to lay it down anyway. He's a B. On a 12, that could be trouble. He pops it up. The runners have to hold. So a pop out to first on a sack attempt, and that's one away, runner holds. So Justy fails to get the bunt down, popping up to Crane Pool. there's the airplane. Here's Joe Morgan now, 1 for 1. Left on left, Gardner from the stretch. That's a 6-9 left-handed. That's a high fly ball to right field. Backing up is Lewis on the track to make the catch for the out. Holy cow, Morgan gave it a ride, but it stayed in the park. Shea, of course, was a tough hitter's park, at least for average. If the weather was favorable, you could hit some home runs there, but very tough hitting background, known as a high strikeout ballpark, probably because the ball was tough to pick up for the batters. Anyway, 2 down, and here's Sonny Jackson. Jackson grounded into that, what looms as a huge double play at the moment in the first inning, with Morgan aboard and nobody out. Left on left, runner at first. The pitch to Jackson on a 1-3. It's a grounder down to third. Boyer smothers it to his feet, throws to Crane Pool to retire the side. No runs, no hits, a man left. So Gardner settles down nicely in the second. Still 1-0. Yeah, right, baseball. It's too good to be batting 8th, I think, even against the lefty. The Mets will send up Crane, Poole, Jones, and Lewis here in the bottom of the inning. Crane Poole batting just .210, a pair of homers, 6 RBIs. And here's the pitch to Crane Poole. 6-3 left-handed, fly ball to left field X. That's going to be Staub. Staub, a 3E14. Here's the roll on the play. Staub racing towards the gap now. On a 15, he's got it. Nice running catch by Staub. 4 would not have had that. 3 able to bring it down. Fly ball to left, 1 out. And here's Cleon Jones now. Jones may be the best hitter on this club. He comes in at .277. No home runs and just 2 RBIs so far for Cleon. He's played in 16 games out of 18. I think the Mets have played the fewest amount of games of anyone. One out, nobody on. Jones a right-handed batter, adjusting into the windup. Here's the pitch now. It's a 6-12 right-handed. Grounder to first base X. That's Gentile, a 3E18. Gentile ranging to his right. Here's the play now. On a 16, he's got it. Flips to Justy covering. Now there's 2 down. And here's Johnny Lewis. Looking for Lewis's stats now. Just 156 for Johnny. 5 for 32. No homers, 2 ribbies. Left-handed batter. Justy into the windup. Here's the pitch to Lewis now. It's a 5-9 left-handed. Fly ball into right. That's going to be playable for Nicholson. He comes in a few steps and makes the grab to retire the side. So 6 up, 6 down for Dave Justy so far. We're through 2 in the Big Apple. Astros lead it 1-0. And Franklin mentions the Apple. I think the Apple was Citi Field. I don't think that was Shea. I could be wrong. Anyone? That's what I say when I'm calling out for help from the chat, right? I mean, yeah, right. Day off yesterday, good to be back at the cards and dice today. It's the heart of the Houston order in the third. Wynn will lead it off. He singled his first time up. Wynn has basically been an unstoppable force all season now. 25 games played for Houston. Wynn with 25 runs batted in. Gardner the windup, 6 to Wynn. 3-12. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Hickman backing up to the track and hauls it in. So Wynn gave it a ride, but it's just allowed out to left. And here's Nicholson now. Nicholson walked his first time up. Gardner into the windup. Delivers 5-11. It's a base hit right up the middle. Nicholson with a sharply hit single. He's aboard. And Jim Gentile will be the hitter. Runner not held. 1 on, 1 out. Left on left from the stretch. Gardner delivers to Gentile on a 3-8. Base hit up the middle. Open single. Nicholson could try to go to third, but he's a 1-12, and Klingon with a -1 arm makes it 11, so he will hold up at second. Playing it conservatively, they hold Nicholson. And the Astros have something going here in the third. First and second, 1 out. Bob Aspromonte will come to bat now. John Bateman on deck. And it sounds like Baseball Redo speaks from a voice of authority here. I mean, if he knows about the beer sign, he probably knows when the apple is there. Here's Aspromonte, 1 for 1. Gardner from the stretch. Pitch to Bob on a 6-7 right-handed. He walks him to load the bases, and Gardner is in trouble again. Gentile down to second. Nicholson will take third. And here is John Bateman with Rusty Staub on deck. Was that when they changed parks? That would be my guess. When it became Citi Field was when they had the apple. At least the mechanical one, the one that goes up and down, of course, is the one I'm talking about. Okay, bases loaded, 1 out for Bateman. The Mets will play at double play depth with the bases loaded. Gardner gets the sign from Grody now. Here's the pitch to Bateman on a 6-8. That is a triple to 2. That'll be a single, 2 stars. Nicholson in to score. Here comes Gentile to cross the plate. Aspromonte will hold up at third, and it's a 2 RBI single by Bateman, and it is now 3-0. Here's Staub now, left on left. But Gardner walked Staub in the second. Gardner, double play depth is the infield. The pitch from Gardner. 2-5, a ringing single, 2 stars. Aspromonte can walk home. Bateman rounds and heads for third. And he'll be in there as Staub rounds and holds at first with an RBI single, making it 4-0. And now there's action already in the Met pen. Let's see who's coming up. So you've got all the lefties. This might be a good spot for Billy Hepler. Hepler's getting loose. With 1 away, Giusti will be the hitter. Giusti, a right-handed hitter, 4W. Infield back. He's going to hit away. The pitch from Gardner, a 4-10 right-handed. Fly to left and shallow. Hickman coming in fast now. He's there to catch it, and runners will have to hold. So a big out there. And now let's see if he can get Joe Morgan. Morgan 1 for 2 today. Also, the apple was long before Citi Field. Gardner trying to get out of this inning now. Stares in to get the sign. From the stretch, Joe Morgan, 1-6, and he walks him to reload the bases. And the Astros will bat around here in the third. So Gardner having all kinds of trouble. I'm not sure how long we're going to go with Gardner. 2 down, a left-hander up. He's going to pitch to Jackson. Jackson 0 for 2. Gardner so far has had Sonny's number. Full windup now. And the pitch to Jackson. A 5-7, and he walks him to force in a run. And that's enough. Here comes Westrom. Now we're going to have to move this all over. It's an RBI walk for Jackson. Scoring at Bateman. Morgan down to second, Staub to third. And that will do it for Gardner. He's not going to go to Hepler. He's going to go to Selma. Could he double switch with anybody? Yeah, that makes it tough. This is going to be a... You're going to have a pitcher get one out and then be pinch hit for is basically what we're looking at. But Jimmy wins up. They got to get a right-hander in there. There's no doubt about that. They could take Lewis out, I suppose. That's not really what I want to do. Now they need Lewis's left-handed power in there. You can't take Cleon out. All right, let's find another guy. Let's find a guy we want to waste for one batter. Yeah, I'm going to bring in Selma. Would have liked to have seen Gardner get through 3. He's due to bat third in the bottom of the inning. But with the bases loaded and Jimmy Wynn coming up, Westrom's making the move now. 2 2/3 only today for Gardner. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. 5 runs so far. The bases are loaded and they're all his. He walked 5 in addition to the 8 hits and struck out only 1. So an ugly day for Rob Gardner. Here's Selma getting loose now. Selma in the replay 1-1 with an 8.31. Not many bright spots on this Mets pitching staff so far, I have to say. Selma's ready to work. Jimmy Wynn's 1 for 2. The bases loaded, nowhere to put him. Full windup. The pitch to Wynn on a 6-6 fly ball to right field. That's playable for Lewis. Backing up a few steps now. And brings it in. I'm going to split this box in half and make it easier on myself. That retires the side. 4 more runs for Houston on 4 hits. They leave the sacks full and lead it 5-0 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Let's get that line out of there. Bear with me as I fix the score sheet. Hope everyone's having a nice Sunday. It is cool, windy, and overcast here. Still, we're in June, and in Spokane, we're still waiting for spring. Looks like we're going straight into summer this year. Justy now staked to a 5-run lead, and he's retired all 6 batters he's faced so far, so things are looking good for Dave Justy. Houston, of course, one of the surprise teams in the National League so far in this replay. They come in with a 15-10 record. The Mets have just been horrible at 4-14, a 5.06 team earned run average, a .222 team batting average with only 6 home runs. Defensively, not much better either. Not much has gone right for the Mets so far this season. Bottom 3rd of the order, Hickman, Grody on the pitcher's spot. Justy into the windup. The pitch to Jim Hickman is a 2-11. That ball is a high fly ball to left field. Backing up his Staub at the track, leaps and makes the catch for the out. Oh my God, the Mets can just not get a break. A 1-17 home run, and the roll is a 20. And it's just a loud out to left. And here's Grody. Grody comes into the game hitting .211, no homers, 7 RBIs. Justy into the windup. Here's the pitch now. It's a 6-3 right-handed, a fly to left field X. That's going to be Staub. A 3E13. Staub ranging towards the gap now. On a 4, he's not going to get that. That's going to roll to the wall for extra bases. Grody out of the box, hustling into second with a double. And now they'll hit for Selma. Don't really have a choice. Looks like we may go through some pitchers today on the Mets side of things. Selma retired Win. Right, left, right, due up. They don't have a lot down there either. We're going to go with Bernarth for now. Try to keep him in the game. It gets pretty ugly after that. Pinch hitting against Justy is going to be Chuck Hiller, the left-handed batter. Hiller, a lefty, I'm trying to find his stats. What the hell is going on here? There he is. He's 3 for 11, 273. Eyes are a little blurry today, gentlemen, so I apologize for that. Here's Hiller, batting 273, a lefty. Justy out of the stretch now. Delivers 211. That's a base hit into right field for Hiller. Grody could try to score on that. Nicholson a -1. Grody very slow. He's going to hold up, especially trailing by 5. And the Mets will have runners at the corners and one away, and Ron Hunt the batter. Ron Hunt, their leading hitter, by the way, came into the game hitting .371. So this would be a good time for Hunt to get going, get this team back in the game. Infield at double play depth as Justy gets the sign from Bateman. Now from the stretch. Delivers to Hunt, 211. It's a foul ball left side. Strat-O-Matic drifting into foul territory, and he'll take it for the second out. And it's going to be up to Brasseau. Brasseau struck out his first time against Justy. Justy from the stretch. That's a 4-9 right-handed. A base hit for Brasseau, 2 stars. Grody will cross the plate. Hiller will head into third, and it's an RBI single for Eddie Brasseau. It's 5-1. So Brasseau comes through with a clutch hit, and here's Ken Boyer now. And there's the rally music as Justy comes set. Pitch to Boyer, 4-12 right-handed, base hit into center. That's an open single. Hiller crosses the plate. Brasseau can try to go to third. He's at 11 plus 2, 13. Win a 0 with 2 outs. There's no point in that, so he'll hold up. That's a ribby for Ken Boyer, his 8th of the season. So the Mets trying to get back into this one. It's a 5-2 game now, and here comes Ed Kranepool. Kranepool flew to left his first time up. Justy trying to get out of this inning now. Gets the sign from Bateman. The pitch to Kranepool, a 6'10 left-handed. It's a fly ball to center field X. That's going to be Jimmy Wynn, a 3E10. Wynn going back. He's on his way. The play on an 8. He makes a fine running catch to retire the side. Oh my goodness, what a play by Jimmy Wynn. So Wynn doing it all for this club this season. The Mets are retired. They do get 2 runs on 4 hits and leave a pair. After 3 innings of play, it is Astros 5, Mets 2. I'm seeing a lot of good weather out there. None of it here. That reminds me, the other night I was watching TV in bed, going to sleep. I have no cable in the bedroom. It's a small set. I basically just use it for the noise to block out the ringing in my ears so I can get some sleep. So I don't much care what's on. Anyway, the commercial came on I think it was for the SPCA, about animals being mistreated. All animals across the country are already baking in the hot sun. And I forgot what got me up, popped me straight up in bed. I said, not in Spokane, they're sure as hell not. Nobody's baking in the sun here. Okay, Selma's done. Bernard's coming on. And he'll be facing Nicholson, Gentile, and Aspromani. It's a staff game. Yes, sirree. Let's see what Bernard's done on the season. He's 2-0 with an 8.78 ERA, 8 games of relief, 13 1/3 innings. Here's Nicholson. He's singled and walked so far. Bernard getting the sign from Grody now. Here's the wind up to pitch to Nicholson, a 110 right-handed. He struck him out. Nicholson down on strikes. Here's Gentile now. Jim 2 for 2. Bernhardt staring in. The wind-up, the pitch to Gentile. That's a 2-5 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And hello, Larry Bernard. He comes in and announces his presence with authority, striking out the first 2 batters he faces. And here's Aspromani now, a walk and a single. Bernard into the wind-up. The pitch to Bob, 3-9. Base hit into left field. It's a 2-out single for Aspromani, who's been on base all 3 times today. With 2 away, John Bateman will stride to the plate. Bateman struck out in the first, drove in 2 with a base hit in the third. Bernard working from the stretch now, delivers to Bateman on a 2-9, swung on and missed, strike 3. And Bernard fans the side. No runs a hit, 1 left. And the Mets fans are saying, Larry Bernard, where have you been? I see Baseball Redo is also in Arizona. I believe that's where Kenyon is, if I remember correctly. Kenyon's near Scottsdale, I think. And Ben relocated. For some reason, I think Kalamazoo, but he's in the cheese state now, Wisconsin. Is that right, Ben? See, through enough time and repetition, eventually I'll remember these. Oh, yeah. Franklin's in Florida. That I do know. I thought armadillos were mostly a Texas thing. Here's Jones to lead it off for the Mets. He's 0 for 1. Justy gets his sign. Whoops, the windup and the pitch. A 1-9 right-handed. It's a 2-hopper to third, smothered by Aspromani. Throws to Gentile, 1 down. And here's Johnny Lewis. Thought a moment about double switching Lewis out, but pretty good pop against righties. And a left-handed batter, I felt they needed him in the lineup a little bit longer. He's 0 for 1 today. Justy into the windup. The pitch to Lewis. 5-2 left-handed. It's a two-hopper to second. Joe Morgan there. Sidearm to Gentile, and quickly there's 2 down. And here's Jim Hickman. Hickman came into the game 1 homer, 4 RBIs. Justy into the windup. 2-9, base hit up the middle, sharply hit single to center. And Hickman aboard with a 2-out knock. And here's Jerry Grody now. Grody doubled his first time up today. Justy look back at Hickman now. Full windup, and the pitch to Grody is a 6-6 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Down goes Grody, and down go the Mets in the 4th. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Through 4 complete. It's Houston 5, New York 2. Houston, as I said before, emerging as a surprise contender in the National League. Here's Bernarth now. Probably his last inning of work, as he's due to lead off the bottom of the 5th, and he'll be looking at Staub, Justy, and Morgan. Staub singled and walked, left-handed hitter. Bernarth the windup. Pitch to Staub. 6-9 left-handed. It's crushed to deep right field. Lewis takes a few steps back and then just watches it disappear halfway up the bleachers. Rusty Staub with a no doubt about it home run. Let's take another look. 6'9 lefty. He has the power. And for Rusty Staub, just his 2nd home run of the season. That makes the score 6-2. And Justy will be the hitter. Right-handed batter. Pitch from Bernarth. 6'5", grounder to short X. That's going to be Brasseau, 4E32. Brasseau into the hole. Here's the play on a 13. He's got it. Long throw across in time. Nice play by Eddie Brasseau. And the 4E32 putting on a little fielding clinic today so far. And here's Joe Morgan. Morgan singled and walked, 1 for 2. Yeah. Why are you moving, Ben? here's the pitch to Joe Morgan. It's a 3-5 right-handed. A tapper to first. Kranepool will take it himself. And there's 2 down. And here's Sonny Jackson. Bernarth has been very effective coming out of the pen. He tried to sneak a fastball by Staub and paid for it. Here's Jackson with 2 down. And here's the pitch. 2-6 right-handed, base hit into left field. Jackson goes the other way with it, and he's aboard. And Jackson loves to steal. Jackson has stolen... Hang on a second. Where is Jackson? Has stolen 3 bases, been caught once. A star 19. Bernarth a -1. Grody a -1. That would make him a 17. They'll hold him on, making him a 15. And they're not going to monkey around with it with Jimmy Wynn at the plate. Jackson will take a lead. Bernarth a throw to first. Jackson back. Little shorter lead now, and the pitch to Jimmy Wynn. 1-9, base hit into left field. Jackson can go to third. That's 16, -2, 14. Hickman with a -1, 13. He'll hold up. No sense making the third out of the inning at third base. And that'll give Nicholson a shot. First and second, 2 down. Astros lead at 6-2. Nicholson singled and walked, 1 for 2. He was the first batter faced by Bernarth, and he struck out. Bernarth now facing him for the 2nd time. From the stretch, the pitch to Nicholson. 5-7, grounder to short. Brasseau flips the short way to Hunt, and that will retire the side. They do pick up a run on the Staub homer, and they leave 2 on. Now leading it 6-2. Justy's been more or less in control of this game from the outset. He did get in a little trouble in the third when he surrendered 4 hits. Other than that, he's been one tough customer. The Mets will send up a pinch hitter to start off the 5th. That'll spell the end of the day for Bernarth, who works 2 innings. Surrenders 4 hits, a run, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. And they're about out of pitchers, too. We've got the uncarded Gordy Richardson. We're going to go with the last righty they have. That'll be Darryl Sutherland. Sutherland is, well, he's not good. That's about all I can say. Pinch hitting. And then he wouldn't be able to run, would he? Pinch hitting. I thought about Stewart for a minute. We're going to go with Luplow. Luplow, a left-handed hitter. Ron Hunt in the on-deck circle. Luplow on the replay, 7 for 30. That's 233. He does have a homer. 2 RBIs. Justy into the windup. Pitch to Luplow, 4-6. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And down goes Luplow. And here's Hunt. Hunt 0 for 2 today. Mr. Hit by Pitch, as I like to call him. And greetings, Doug Hunt, and welcome. Glad to have you, sir. And there's Jimmy, and the gang's all here. I don't know that for a fact, of course. It feels like the gang's all here. Justy into the windup. Here's Hunt now on a 4-8. Grounder to short. That's Jackson. Over to Gentile. And there's 2 down. Eddie Brasseau will be the batter. Brasseau's having a good game. 1 for 2, a couple of nice defensive plays. Justy into the windup. The pitch to Eddie. 2-10, fly ball to left field, playable for Staub. Barely has to move as he hauls it in, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Justy. So 3 of the 5 innings for Justy have been 3 up, 3 down. As I mentioned earlier, he got into some trouble into the 3rd. And he allowed 1 hit with no damage in the 4th. Sutherland will come on now, the last right-hander in the Mets pen. Despite the horrible card, he has a 3.72 ERA so far in the replay, no record. He's worked in 5 ball games, all of them in relief. And he'll get set to go here as we move the game to the 6th. And there's Joel Horland. Welcome, Joel. And Joel is in Lake Tahoe. And there's Perry. Boy, the gang is all here today. Welcome to Perry. Showing up late for the game. Well, you know, hey, I grew up down there. Let me tell you something. Don't judge until you've driven that freeway system. I do not miss it. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's a frickin' nightmare. I think I'd rather do 4 hours hard labor than sit on that freeway for 4 hours if I had to pick, honestly. At least when I was younger. I wouldn't do the 4 hours labor now at my age. Holy crap, I'm 68 years old as of 2 days ago, in fact, yeah. Here's Gentile to lead it off against Sutherland, who just came into the game. Jim's 2 for 3 today. Sutherland gets the sign from Grody now. There's the windup and the pitch to Jim on a 5-12. It's a grounder to first X. That's going to be Cranepool. And a 3E13 as he moves to his right. Here's the play on a 7 E rating. The roll of a 6 on a 13, and Crane Pool boots it. One base error, Crane Pool. That'll be E3, the first error of the ball game. Gentile, quite possibly the slowest man in 1966, will remain anchored at first. And here's Strat-O-Matic, who has not been retired today. 2 singles and a walk. Sutherland from the stretch now. Pitch to Bob on a 6-7. That's a double to 5, and on a 1, that's down for extra bases. Rounding is Gentile. He'll hold up at third on the double by Strat-O-Matic, and Strat-O-Matic is having a day. Second and third, nobody out, so Sutherland in trouble right away here in the 6th. His team already trailing by 4. They're going to have to pull the infield in now. And here's Bateman, 1 for 3, struck out twice. Infield in as Sutherland delivers. 6-4, fly to center field next. That's going to be Cleon, a 3E8. Cleon on his horse. Here's the play on a 3. He's not going to get it. That's a single. That's going to plate 2 runs, and the Astros are blowing the game open now. A 2-run single by Bateman. 4 RBIs on the day. And it's 8-2. And here's Staub. Staub has not been retired. Walked, singled, and homered in his last at-bat. Runner on second. Nobody out still. Sutherland deals 2-3. A grounder to second. That's Hunt. Over to Crane Pool. Bateman into third. Hang on, I got to correct that. Bateman was never on first, of course. One down, runner at third. They'll pull the infield in for Justy. He's an A bunter, remember. Sacrifice squeeze play, perhaps. Probably not with Bateman at third. A 1 through 9 runner. No possibility of stealing home should he miss. So Justy's going to hit away. A right-handed hitter, 4W. And here's the pitch with the infield in. 1-8, swung on and missed, strike 3. And Sutherland now can get out of this inning if he can get Joe Morgan. Right, Joel? Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. Morgan 1 for 3 with a walk. Sutherland into the windup. Pitch to Little Joe on a 5-9. It's a 2-hopper to second. Hunt has it. Sidearm to Crane Pool, and that will do it. But 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave a man. At least 1 is unearned. That would have been the first out, double, single. Yeah, 1 unearned run charged to Sutherland. And the Astros lead it 8-2 as we move to the bottom of the 6th. It'll be the heart of the order for New York. Boyer, Crane, Poole, and Jones. Boyer 1 for 2 on the day. Justy the sign from Bateman. Here's the pitch on a 1-10. Base hit into left field. Boyer with a sharply stroked single, and he's 2 for 3 today. Boyer no threat to steal. And here's Crane Pool. Crane Pool 0 for 2. Justy working from a stretch now, delivered. 4-9 left-handed, single to 4 on a 20. That liner will be speared by Little Joe Morgan for the first out. Throws to first, back in time is Boyer. And here's Cleon Jones now. Cleon 0 for 2 today. Justy gets the sign from Bateman. Here's the pitch to Jones. 1-9. Grounder to third. Aspromonte has it quickly down to Morgan. Nice turn to Gentile. 5-4-3 double play will end the inning. And the Mets go down in the sixth. Through six, it is 8-2 Houston. Here's Sutherland now. Jackson, Wynn, and Nicholson due for Houston. Sonny Jackson 1 for 3 with a walk. Sutherland gets his sign now. Here's the windup and the pitch to Jackson. It's a 2-2 right-handed. He pops him up on the right side. Ron Hunt has it, and there's one out. And here's the toy cannon. 2 for 4 today. Batted twice in the third inning. That's why the 7/9 there. 2 singles, 2 flyouts. Sutherland into the windup. The pitch to Win. A 6-12 right-handed is a grounder to second base X. That's Hunt again. He's 3-28. Hunt ranges behind the bag. And here's the play on a 5. Nice stop by Hunt. Turns and fires. He gets him. Nice play, Ron Hunt. 4-3X. That'll go as a web jam for Mr. Hunt. And with 2 outs and nobody on, Dave Nicholson will be the hitter. Nicholson 1 for 3 with a walk. Sutherland getting the sign from Grody. The pitch to Nicholson. 2-12 right-handed. Tapper to third. Boyer's on it. Long throw across in time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Sutherland. Down goes Houston in the 7th. And here's Justy coming on. The 7th inning will be Justy's first inning of potential fatigue. He's an S7. And he'll be facing Lewis, Hickman, and Grody. I've heard that as well, Joel. I haven't been there since the early 90s. Here's Johnny Lewis now, 0 for 2. Justy into the windup. Pitch to Lewis is a 5-11 left-handed, and he loses him ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Lewis, and that'll bring up Hickman. And Mets trying to get back into this one, or at least knock Justy out and get the Astros into their iffy bullpen. Remember, the bullpen has been a weak link for this Houston team. Hickman 1 for 2. Justy from the stretch, 5-11 right-handed. That is down for extra bases. That's going to be an open double. Lewis could try to score on that. It's to center. Wins a 0, Lewis a 14, but trailing by 6, they're going to play it safe and hold him. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Here's Jerry Grody. Juan Swoboda grabs a bat and moves to the on-deck circle. Grody 1 for 2. Houston with a big lead will play back, trying to stay out of the big inning. One more hitter walk will fatigue Justy as well. And they would have mostly righties coming up. Who do they have? Don Lee or Ron Taylor? We're going to get Ron Taylor up. Ron Taylor throwing in the Astros pen. Nobody out, 2nd and 3rd. Here's Grody. Justin pitch to Jerry Grody. A 5-8 swung on and missed strike 3. Big strikeout for Justy. And now they will announce Ron Swoboda as the pinch hitter. So Sutherland goes 2 innings. Looks like we're going to be using the entire New York pen today. 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. No walks and a K. And it's down to Hepler and the uncarded Gordy Richardson. We'll go with Hepler. Both are lefties. And here's Swoboda now, hitting for Sutherland. Swoboda in our replay so far, just 205, 8 for 39. Does not have a home run, 5 RBIs. Infield still back. Just the end of the windup. It's a 5-5 fly to right field. That's going to be deep enough to score a run. Nicholson makes the catch. Lewis tags up and scores. Hickman will hold. And it's 8-3. That's the second out, however. And here's Ron Hunt. Hunt 0 for 3. Runner at second, 2 down. Remember, one more hit or walk will fatigue Justy. Justy into the windup now. The pitch to Hunt on a 1-9. Right in his good column. He rips a sharp line drive, but right at Joe Morgan, and the side is retired. Woo! Justy dodges a bullet there. The Mets settle for a run on one hit. They leave a man after 7 complete. It's 8-3 Houston. Coming on to pitch for the Mets is Billy Hepler. Hepler in the replay so far, he's been in just 2 games and has an ERA of 9. Yeah, I was talking about the problems of the Houston pen, and the Mets not any better. Hepler's a lefty. He'll face Gentile, Aspromani, and Bateman here in the 8th. Jim Gentile now. 2 for 4 today. Left on left as Hepler delivers. 6'5" left-handed. Gentile lines a base hit into right field for his 3rd hit of the afternoon. A lot of red on this Astros side of the card. Here's Aspromani. Aspromani has not been retired. He has 3 hits and a walk. Hepler from the stretch. The pitch to Bob, a 5-7 right-handed. That is ripped into center for a 2-star single. Gentile, even as slow as he is, will round and head into 3rd. That's the 4th hit of the day for Aspromani, and he's been on base all 5 times. So a hell of a game for Bob, and here's Bateman. Bateman has 4 RBIs on the day. Infield at double play depth. Hepler from the stretch. To Bateman now on a 3-9. Fly to left field, B question mark. Caught by Hickman. They won't take any chances. They're going to hold him. That's the first out of the inning. Gentile, a 1 through 8 anyway at 3rd. Yeah, he's going nowhere fast. Or nowhere slow, as the case may be. Probably in his case, nowhere slow. Here's Rusty Staub. Staub 2 for 3 with a walk. Left on left. Hepler from the stretch. Infield back. It is a 2-8 high fly ball to deep right field. Backing up is Lewis at the wall. It's gone. Rusty Staub has his 2nd home run of the game. And guys, I think we can officially call it a laugher. Gentile and Aspromani score ahead of him. That's 4 RBIs for Rusty Staub, and that's his 3rd home run of the season. Oh, sure, it's like pretty much like anything else in corporate America today, wouldn't you say? It's all the quickest route to the loot, a money grab. Here is Justy. Justy 0 for 4. Kepler's pitch on a 6-10. It's a fly to center field X. That's Cleon, a 3E8. Going back now. Here's the play. It's the error rating. The roll of a 6 on an 8, and it's off of Jones's glove for a 2-base error. And half of the Mets fans on hand are filing for the exits now. Justy reaches on the error. There were just under 8,300 in the house today on a Tuesday evening in May. And many of them are going to try to beat the traffic at this point. Runner on second, one down. Here's Little Joe, left on left. The pitch from Hepler, 1-8. Homer on a 1, but that's going to hold up in right field for Lewis. Just shy of the track, he's going to pull that one in for the second out. And here's Sonny Jackson. Hepler, left on left, delivers to Jackson, 1-5, and he loses in ball 4. So the walk to Jackson. And here comes Jimmy Wynn. And normally I would bring in a right-hander here, but frankly, it doesn't make any difference at this point. And they don't even have a right-hander left in the pen unless I went to an uncarded player. Perhaps they should be calling up a young kid named Ryan about now. Here's Wynn, 2 for 5. Kepler winds and deals, 4-8. It's a grounder to short. That's going to be playable for Brissou. He'll go the short way to Hunt, and that will retire the side. But 3 more runs for the Astros. On 3 hits, they leave a pair. And they lead it 11-3 now. So Justy has enough runs to certainly buy himself some rope. That is, you know, as far as his odds of pitching a complete game go. The only thing that can stop him now probably is fatiguing. He allowed a double and a walk in his first fatigue inning. So it's only going to take 2 hits and or walks to tire him in the bottom of the 8th. And it's going to be Brissou, Boyer, and Cranepool. Eddie's 1 for 3 today. Justy gets the sign. The pitch to Eddie on a 2-5. It's a base hit. Lead-off single for Brissou, who's 2 for 4. Brissou's had a nice game. And here's Ken Boyer. Boyer's 2 for 3. One more hit or walk will fatigue Justy. Ron Taylor is ready. The pitch to Boyer on a 1-12. It's a base hit into center, and Justy is fatigued. An open single. Brissou 1-11, trailing by that many runs. He's not going to try it. Station to station for the Mets. And here comes Hatton. That's going to do it for the tired Justy. I love that, Kenyon. I was waiting for that, man. You said it, brother. Being twice divorced, you know where I stand. Justy, 7+. Pitched a good game. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 hits. 3 runs so far. Walked only 1. Struck out 3, 4. And here comes Ron Taylor. Taylor, a righty. Let's check his replay numbers. This Astro pen has had some trouble, but Taylor has not been part of the problem. Of course, he's only appeared in 2 games. He has 3 2/3 scoreless innings to his credit so far in this replay. And we'll see if he can keep it going. He inherits runners at first and second and nobody out. And Ed Cranepool coming to bat. Cranepool 0 for 3. Taylor The windup and the pitch on a 5-5. That's a single to 11 on a 9. That is down for an asterisk single. And the bases are loaded. Maybe too little too late? I don't know. Stranger things have happened. Probably their best player coming to bat in Cleon Jones. Bases loaded, nobody out. Cleon 0 for 3 in this game. Taylor gets the sign from Bateman. Now the full windup. 6-7 right-handed. That's a grounder to shortstop. That's going to be 2. It's Jackson to Morgan and to Gentile. A run will score on the play, but that's a big double play as Pursue crosses. Boyer into third. And with 2 down, it's Johnny Lewis. Taylor into the windup now to pitch to Lewis. A 4-6 swung on and missed, strike 3. So Taylor comes on and puts out the rally. The Mets settle for a run on 3 hits and leave 1. And at the end of 8 complete, it is 11-4 Houston. And they may as well stick with Hepler at this point. Nicholson, Gentile, Aspromonte do. Nicholson 1 for 4 today. Hepler goes into the windup. Pitch to Dave, a 1-6, struck him out. Called, strike 3. Nicholson doesn't like it, but shrugs his shoulders. He's, what the hell, we're leading by 8. Gentile has 3 hits on the day. Left on left as Hepler delivers. A 4-10 left-handed is a grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Pursue tested again. A 4E32. He's made 2 nice plays so far. Here's the roll, E rating. An 8 on a 32. He makes the play for the out. What a day in the field for Eddie Pursue. 6-3X. 2 out, nobody on, and here's Aspromonte. Bob Aspromonte has not been retired in this game. He has 4 hits and a walk. Hepler into the windup now. The pitch to Bob, 2-8. Comebacker, snared by Hepler. Takes a couple steps to first and tosses it to Cranepool. And finally, somebody figures out how to get Aspromonte out. A 1-2-3 inning for Hepler. And it's pretty much all over but the crying, despite the it ain't over till it's over. Ron Taylor will come out for his 2nd inning. Hickman, Grody, and the pitcher's spot do. Brings up a good question. If they get to that point and pinched hit for Hepler, who the hell would pitch? They'd be down to this guy. I doubt it's going to come to that, however. Hickman's 2 for 3. Taylor into the windup. Delivers 3-3. Grounder down to third base. That's going to be Aspromonte on it. Throws to Gentile. And there's 1 down. Now batting, Jerry Grody. Grody's 1 for 3. Doubled in the 3rd and struck out twice. Taylor into the windup. Here's the pitch to Grody on a 3-6. It's a high fly ball to left field. It's hanging up, however, for Staub. Just shy of the track, hauls it in. And now the Mets are down to their last out, and they will send up a batter for Hepler, who worked 3 innings. Worked a solid 3 innings. Made a mistake to Staub. And that was it. Let's see what they've got left. They need base runners. They're going to go with Larry Elliott. I'm not sure I've even used Elliott yet. Let's take a look. Yes, he's been in 2 ball games. He's 0 for 2. Elliott, a left-handed hitter, better against righties. 306 on base on the season, in real life, that is. Taylor trying to close it out now. Gets the sign from Bateman. Here's the pitch to Larry Elliott. 3-3. It's a two-hopper to first. Race to the bag. Gentile gets there first, and that's the ball game. $11 to 4 the final. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Hit that like button on your way out. That helps me. And I'll have the totals for you here in a second. I'm Spokane Steve, and thank you so much for joining me on a Sunday afternoon. Taylor in his 2 innings gave up 1 hit, a strikeout, no runs, no walks, so all 4 runs charged to Justy. Justy picks up the win. He's 2-1. There is no save. Gardner takes the loss. He drops to 0-4. Hepler in his 2 innings of work, not 3. I beg your pardon. 2 innings for Hepler. Three hits and a run. Nope, 3 hits and 3 runs. Excuse me. What am I looking at there? 3-run homer. Walked 1, struck out 1. So the whole Mets pitching staff was pretty much brutalized today. Totals for Houston, 11 runs on, what do we got, 12, 4, 17 freaking hits, no errors. The Mets 4 runs, 10 hits and an error. Chief Spokane Gary, player of the game. Well, Swoboda was the sac fly here, right? Oh, I better put that in. He'll bat before. Thank you for that. That would have really screwed me up when I go to enter this manually. Swoboda and then Elliott. So 4 pinch hitters in the 9 spot. Thank you very much so. I appreciate that. I'm inclined to give Bob Aspromani player of the game for his 4 hits and a walk. On the other hand, Staub was 3 for 4 with 2 home runs. I don't know. What do you guys think? I could give it to both of them, I suppose. Kind of the easy way out, but both deserving. Let's look ahead on the schedule here. Tomorrow will be the Los Angeles Dodgers at the Philadelphia Phillies, 2 good clubs. Still no Dick Allen in the lineup. Sandy Koufax takes the mound tomorrow for LA. This is can't miss baseball, folks. Chris Short, a fine pitcher in his own right, will toe the rubber for the Phillies. And I'm going to get off here now and text this person that has this cat that I might soon be the proud owner of. So I'll have to let you know tomorrow how that went. I failed in a bid early this week for a cat when the people that were going to give it to me left the window to their car open and the cat escaped. So you want to talk about some bad luck there. Or maybe just stupidity. I don't know. Who the hell leaves their windows down with a kitten in the back seat? You're right? I mean, come on. Yeah, I love the Koufax games. That should be fun. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Everybody, thanks again for hanging out with me. Have a great Sunday evening, one and all. Spokane Steve, bidding you all farewell for now.